Final Fantasy fans may find out the Final Fantasy XVI release date sooner rather than later if the latest rumors are to be believed. Square Enix first announced Final Fantasy XVI during a PlayStation event in September 2022, revealing that the game is a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Square Enix has been keeping Final Fantasy fans updated on FF16 ever since, confirming new details about the game and showing it in trailers. Final Fantasy XVI's characters, story, and game world were presented in full as part of Square Enix's marketing campaign for the game. However, one important detail has escaped fans of the franchise since the announcement of FF16. A solid release date for Final Fantasy XVI has never been announced in the years since its initial reveal, but it looks like that could change in a matter of weeks. According to a new report from Insider Gaming, the Final Fantasy XVI release date could be announced at the Game Awards 2022 on December 8th. Insider Gaming came to this conclusion after receiving information that pre-orders for Final Fantasy XVI would go live on December 7th, or December 8, since the Game Awards takes place on December 8th and will no doubt be filled with big game reveals and announcements. It makes sense that Square Enix would capitalize on the excitement by announcing the Final Fantasy XVI release date during the show. Another thing that works in favor of the theory that Final Fantasy XVI's release date will be announced at the Game Awards 2022 is that it was previously hinted that the announcement would come before the end of the year. Final Fantasy XVI producer Naoki Yoshida teased that Final Fantasy XVI release date news would arrive before the end of 2022, and given that the Game Awards is the last big gaming event of the year, it seems the perfect place for such an announcement. Of course, fans should take this information with a grain of salt for now. Square Enix hasn't guaranteed that the Final Fantasy XVI release date will be announced this year with 100% certainty, so it's always possible that plans could change. However, Square Enix has previously offered encouraging development updates on Final Fantasy XVI, indicating that the game is nearing the end of its development cycle, so fans can be cautiously optimistic about the potential release date revealed at the Game Awards on December 8th. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.